This film festival means the world.
I look forward to this festival every year.
I'm just so delighted that I get to come to this every year.
I'm celebrating our people all over the world.
It's beyond explainable. I cannot explain how PAFF makes me feel.
My name is Ayuko Babu. I'm the executive director of the Pan-African Film Festival and one of the co-founders of the festival, along with Janae Dubois, who just passed a few days ago, and Danny Glover. And I've been executive director from the very beginning of the festival. And we started it because we felt it was important for our story to be spread out over the world and bring all these different voices together. As a result of the slave trade and colonization, African people have been spread all over the world. So a little bit of our stories in Haiti, a little bit of our stories in Harlem, a little bit of our stories in Papua New Guinea, a little bit of our stories in Australia, a little bit of our story in Brazil. And you put all these stories together, you finally begin to understand the sophisticated, cosmopolitan, complicated nature of who we are, and help us better understand ourselves by listening to everybody's story. So we felt that was important to do. Also, the second thing was to LA is an international global city, and it's important to have a voice in this city that expresses our global nature, who we are as a people, and there needs to be a first-class film festival in this city where Hollywood is located to say we exist, as well as to show that there's an audience for these films. Because the way you get distributors to understand and accept these films is to see all the audiences. And if you're a filmmaker and you're looking for a black audience, you put your film in our festival, and they will have a better understanding of the black audience.
What does the Pan-African Film Festival mean to you?
It's a great opportunity to see films that you would never see anywhere else. It teaches you about history, culture, and other countries, and it's just a fabulous time to get out and see your friends and enjoy the film.
I raised my grandchildren up on this film festival, oldest one being 27 years old. And all of my grandchildren, all four of them, have been to this festival, and I've brought school children too in my 31-year career.
We've been here all day watching movies. It's such an inspiration to young people. I bring young people here as well to the Teen Fest. It's just globally an entertaining, uplifting, inspirational event. And I love Babu for his passion, for his vision. And I'm so motivated. Next year, our film's going to be a part of this. We have a film project. Man, we're excited.
For me, Pan-African Festival is probably the only film festival where I see movies that speak about my people, my problems, my culture, my languages and food and mannerism and everything. It's essential. It's essential to have PAFF around because if we don't get hold of our identity, of our culture, then who are we?
I think PAFF is it's a step up for a lot of people. It creates a platform where not just black films but African films, can be seen by people who normally might not get the opportunity to see films like that. And it's also good for filmmakers who, for example, I made my film in Nigeria. We have distribution in Nigeria, and we've screened in about 4 continents. But this is a different demographic. This is screening to people who might not get the chance to see it and bringing Nigeria closer to them. I think PAFF is doing a great job. I mean, I've seen films from all over the world here, and they just give you a different perspective, a wider perspective about what it means to be African, what it means to be black in the world.
I think the Pan-African Film Festival is the most important film festival in the world to black people and people of color. Number one, because it's a full diaspora. It's like a buffet. We have films from all over the world, from African Americans, from Africa, from the Caribbean, and it's a community festival. It's a cultural festival. It's an international festival. And it's really, really important for us as people of color to support this festival. We got to buy tickets. We got to do stuff to keep this festival going, or else it's going to die. So my encouragement to all the people watching this is that we spread the word about this film festival. Not only make more films, but this is the place where our films get shown. This is the place where we can shine as filmmakers and as moviegoers. You will see films here at this festival that you will not see anywhere else in the world. Films that mainstream will not give distribution, you will see it here at PAFF. We gotta support this festival. We have to keep it alive. And as a filmmaker and as a moviegoer and all of those things, I just urge you to really, really, really support PAFF. Pan-African Film and Arts Festival. And then we have people who come from all over the world selling arts and crafts. I mean, this is Black people doing us. And if we don't support us, who will? So please support the Pan-African Film Festival.
This is my 28th year coming. I've been coming since the very beginning. As an English teacher, I would bring my students for the Student Fest. And so every aspect of it is just sensational.
Being here, the feeling is, I would say it's spiritual, because we get to tell these stories that haven't been told or that we don't know about, like the albinism film that I watched from South Africa. It really touches me a lot, and many people don't know about it. So a lot is being revealed in these films for Africans like us that don't live in Africa to learn what is actually happening out there. So it's been a big learning curve for me as well.
Pan-African Film Festival is about community, and it's about Blackness, basically, and just being unapologetic and appreciating our voices and the stories that we need to tell.
It is amazing, and I love talking to all the people from all the different countries. I've been to like 30-something countries myself, and I meet no strangers.
I love this festival. I've been coming here for many years, and I just feel like I get a new understanding of Black culture in the diaspora. It's the greatest. I love it. I never miss it. I've been coming for like at least 10 years or more, so it's been really great.
It is an experience that I love. And I feel like it's a family reunion because all of my family is always here and we have such a great time.
It's so special, and the films that we get a chance to see are so original, so empowering, so amazing and inspiring that you have to come. And you can only get this here.
Why is it important that the community support the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival?
Why is it important for the community? Not only is why it's important for the community to support the festival, why it's important why Black people in general should support the festival, as well as Black people internationally, Africans internationally support the festival. It's all three things combined. Number one, if we don't support our own institutions, they will die. Because nobody's interested in having Black film festivals, Black art shows, books, except for Black folks. So if you want these kind of opportunities to exist in the world, you have to support them. If you don't support it, it will be gone, like the African Marketplace, like all the other kinds of programs, Watch Summer Festivals, all gone. All those things are past. If you don't support it, it will disappear.
Well, it's important because it's keeping our stories told. Our art told, is keeping our people employed, because half the time if you don't have African filmmakers, some of these workers won't get jobs.
I'm Jahid Ashley, the East Coast director of the Pan-African Film Festival. I live in New York, and I gather a lot of information and acquire a lot of films in the North and East area and bring them to LA for the festival. All of my political life, we have been fighting for positive images of Black folks. I grew up around a lot of stereotypical images from Hollywood, and they always depressed me. And so the films that come to the Pan-African Film Festival elevates my consciousness about not just Black beauty, but Black strength, Black politics, and Black magic. So the film festival is very important as a platform for independent filmmakers, as well as giving us decades of positive images, especially this year, because there's a lot of historical films, let's say films that encompass the history of the issues. So on that basis, positive Black images coming out of the Pan-African Film Festival. If you know the Black population, there's only about 5 Black film festivals or African-centered film festivals in the United States. So 5 film festivals will not encompass the whole population of Black America in the United States. So this film festival is extremely important because it's a concentration of 2 weeks of activity. All other black film festivals only a week, 4 days or a week. So this film festival sets a platform for independent producers who desperately need this. And you may not believe this, but you talk to the filmmakers, you see they have very few outlets. Now there are more and more outlets these times in terms of Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, Apple TV. But before all those platforms, there was the Pan-African Film Festival. This is a place for independent black producers to put their work, as well as for African filmmakers having a door to the West to display their works, as well as to get a foot up on terms of technical development and also exposure.
My name is Negase Lee K. I'm a filmmaker. I've had a film in this festival, but this year I am just volunteering, and I had to volunteer because I wanted to serve this festival. And you know, Babu said to me, "Thank you for volunteering." I said, "I'm not doing this for you."
Right, yeah.
I mean, really, this is not like a favor where somebody got a flat tire and you go help them out. Right. This is me having an opportunity to serve this community, to serve this festival. It's so important. We have films from all over the globe. This is the largest black film festival in America. Right. But it's not just size that matters. There's a lot of film festivals. For me, this is the biggest film festival in the world in terms of content. It has that diaspora feel. It has politics. It has commerciality. It has independent film. It has all of the things. It has a treat. I told somebody that being at this festival makes me feel like I'm at Disneyland. And that's really how I feel like I'm at Disneyland, because I get to go in several theaters, Theater 9, Theater 10. What theater are you going to? Oh, what time does this one start? Then you go to a networking panel. Then you go get some popcorn. Then you talk to Ayuko Babu in the lobby, who's talking to everybody with all his traditional African clothes and everything. You looking around, I know you got to go because you're really busy, but I just wanted to say on camera that I appreciate you and I thank you for this festival and for what you have done for the community with this festival. This is year 28 and we're looking forward to year 29.
Right. And it's very, very incredible that I met her mother, who has a whole political history that parallels my history with her. Information and people I never thought about for a long, long time. She brought that to me, so I appreciate that a lot.
And reason why that's important, not because of personal story, but because that is a testament of what this festival can do. People who knew each other 30 years ago and haven't seen each other, or 50 years ago and lost contact, comes here from around the world and meets each other here. People from the 60s movement. And then we have the youth and the young people who are 20 years old coming to see films, and then people from all generations coming together, from American clothes to African clothes to different accents and all of that. It's just the most amazing place on earth to be at the Pan-African Film Festival. And I'm sorry it's only 12 days out of the year, but you got to come and support this festival. You have to. If this festival closes down, we got nothing. What was the thing that closed down recently? Because I'm talking about why we cannot lose the Pan-African Film Festival. What was the other big thing in LA that we...
The African Marketplace and the Watch Summer Festival.
And why did we lose the African Marketplace?
The Inner City Cultural Center.
Why did we lose those?
No money, lack of support.
No money, lack of support. Black must support black. We have to, because once we lose it, it's gone forever. So now is our time to just promote the Pan-African Film Festival. Buy tickets. Don't be asking to get in free. Buy the tickets. Support this festival. Don't be asking to get in free. Buy the tickets to this festival. And to my fellow Hollywood black filmmakers and movie stars, come out and support this festival. Give your brand to this festival, because when you give your brand to this festival, you are giving to you. You are giving to us. You are giving to your ancestors. This is the Pan-African Film Festival, and I urge all of Black Hollywood to come out and support this. Give your brand, and that's how we get the big corporate sponsors to come out. We will be as big as the Oscars here at the Pan-African Film Festival with your support. And these two men right here, these two African warriors, look at them here. I'm so proud of you, and I just want to thank you on camera.
And freedom costs.
Black Lives Matter must matter to black people.
So, okay, I think that the festival is something very relevant. As a person who is a global citizen, and all of us have our roots in Africa, This is the century of women, it's the century of Africa, and it just is so visceral for me to experience some of the segments. Social justice and the one I went to this afternoon, the Black History series, resonated with me on a level that brought me to tears, because I saw from the first one was about science, and I'm a scientist and I'm working in the medical field. The second one was about the King of Germany, and he was mainly about Cameroon. And when I did my 23andMe and stuff, the majority of my African roots are Cameroon. And the last one was Marian Anderson. And what I want to say, which I think encompasses this whole festival, is a lot of times we're looking for what's our mission and what we should do. And it's about be you, own your own character, be free in that, have confidence in that. Don't look for validation outside yourself and keep moving forward. That's what she did. And then the universe will give you the support that you need to push you towards whatever is most relevant. But it's about creating value and making difference at this point in time, the most important. We have to change the trajectory of this country. And Africa is our past, but it's showing us that if we don't change our future and our present, that we can't make a difference for the rest of the world. And even though we're small and the majority, the richest country in the universe is Africa, but the United States has the most power to make a difference because we have the most diverse, community. And if we can get it together here, the rest of the world can too. Recently, I was in Africa. So Thanksgiving week, I got to go volunteer in Africa, and I was in Kenya. And what I realized is that my daughter said, "Mom, did you kiss the ground in the motherland?" I said, "No, I didn't kiss the ground." But I was happy seeing Black people in positions overall. And what I want everybody to realize is that this festival, all of our roots, it doesn't matter what global part of the world you think you're from, the roots are definitely in Africa. And you need to see some of these films that so obscure. She was a scientist, Alice Ball. She dealt with leprosy in Hawaii. But if it hadn't have been for her, and she died in her 20s, I wouldn't have known that. This was first presented here. The King of Germany, what they're going to do more stuff about, and he was the Cameroon king. So he wasn't a German king, but these things are relevant. And everybody, we are global citizens. We are all interconnected. It doesn't matter what color our skin is, but the roots are. The people who have suffered the most deserve the most to be happy. And if you don't get in touch with that, and this festival, to this time it had over 150 entries, allows you to get a glimpse of it. So I would say to everybody, support it. I bought tickets and I didn't get to see everything, but I felt like the investment was worth it. And I don't have a lot of money. I'm not rich or anything, but I feel like it is important for us to do the best that we can in our sphere of reference.
I appreciate it to my soul because it's such a learning tool, such an instrument for learning things about other people all over the world.
And this lovely lady is my mother. She was in the civil rights movement with Jahid, who is the brother of Babu, and he also, Ayuko Babu, and he also works for the Pan-African Film Festival. And this lady also was in the movement with Jahid in San Francisco. So this is multi-generational, this festival. So I just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the film festival. And tell us a little bit about what you did in the movement in the 60s.
Well, actually, I was in Oakland, California, and I was around when Bobby Seale and Huey Newton established the Black Panther Party for self-defense. And I was around during the time, of course, that's when Malcolm X was living. That's when Elijah Muhammad, some people were in the mosque. Martin Luther King, and there were so many people that was involved in the civil rights movement. It was very exciting. We had a lot of things to do. We had trying to help people down in the South because actually Jim Crow was still in existence until 1965. So I was a part of, helping people down in the South as far as to get rid of Jim Crow. And also...
And you're from the South?
I'm from the South. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, lived down there doing Jim Crow, lived down there doing the slaughter of Emmett Till. So I was very motivated to be a part of the the movement, what we call the movement during that time. And one of the biggest things was that war, the Vietnam War. I and a whole bunch of women got together and knocked on doors and said, don't let your son go to the Vietnam War. So that was a part of it too. It wasn't just the civil rights movement, but the civil rights movement was very strong to get rights for African Americans and rights for other immigrants and minorities to have a civil rights to be able to to be able to live equally in this society.
And tying that in, that's why this festival is so important, because this festival was birthed as a part of the civil rights movement. Ayuko Babu and his fellow co-founders started this festival as a political thing for freedom, for artists, for filmmakers to come and be able to express themselves in a place and in a way that nowhere else on earth can they express themselves. So I just want to thank our previous generations, like you, thank you, and all the founders of the film festival, Danny Glover and all the rest, Ayuko Babu and Asantua. Thank you so much from our generation and the generations of the future. We just thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and I was very, very excited to be involved in that time of our history. And it was just really, really, really exciting in a way. Some people did lose their lives, but it was an exciting time, and I feel so honored and so blessed to be a part of that time period.
My name is Venus Bernardo, and I've been with PAFF for the last 27 years. I've worn a lot of hats. I've been the jury. I've been the volunteer coordinator, lead photographer. I'm the jury coordinator, and I'm also the photography manager for the festival. And I do it every year, and it's so tiring, and I'm worn out by the end, but I love it. I always say, I'm not coming back next year because it's so much work, but I can't stay away. This is my family. PAFF is my family. The most rewarding thing about working for the festival is the people. I always see somebody I know that I haven't seen in years. This is a seasonal job for me, so I always get to see my friends for like 30 years. The art is exciting. I always save up my money and go and buy art and fashion. It's just beautiful. The whole vibe. It's the vibe of the community. It's Black people, beautiful Black people. I love seeing our people. It's a happy occasion, and I'm telling you, it's one that I look forward to every year, and it's around my birthday time, so it's an uplift for me for my birthday.
My name is Medea Brown, and I am associate programmer, and I man the information desk in the theater during the festival.
And tell us what exactly you do for the festival. What does that title mean? What is behind the title?
We send out a press release in June for submissions to the festival from filmmakers all over the world. They send their films in on two platforms, the PAFF platform and Film Freeway. And what I do is I go watch the films that are submitted to the festival, and I choose the films that will be in the festival from the selections that have been submitted. It means everything to me personally. It gives everybody an opportunity to see great films by filmmakers that may not get distribution, that deserve to have their films seen on the big screen. It's exciting for us as film lovers, and it's exciting for them as a filmmaker. It takes a lot of effort to make a film, and the films that we show here are so stunning and so excellent and so positive. A lot of them are so positive and exciting that I think people should see them, and it gives filmmakers an opportunity to shine. And a filmmaker makes a film because people want to see it, and so we give them that opportunity.
What makes the Pan-African Film Festival different than just going to a movie?
So I think PAFF is very different because for a couple of reasons. One, it's in LA, right? So one of the major things I have enjoyed with PAF are the events that they've organized, the roundtable discussions with industry experts and stuff. Those are invaluable. It might look like a small thing to a lot of people, but it's information. You get information there that it's gonna take you a lot of resources to find somewhere else. For that alone, I think PAF is special, right? And coming all the way from Nigeria here, I can tell you for a fact that it was worth my time.
I think that the kind of movies that you see here definitely are not movies that you're going to see in the mainstream theaters. And most of those movies target audience like me, black people. And as a black man, I want to see stories about my struggles, my love, my things that matter to me. And I see those things here. For example, yesterday I went to see a movie called um, My Best Friend Fela. And if it's not here, where else will I be able to see a movie about Fela? Fela Kuti, who for me is one of the greatest artists in the world, but still is completely neglected by the mainstream. So, Pan African Festival is all that to me. It allows me to stay in touch with who I am, stay in touch with my culture, with my people, and be completely confident on who I am. And that's important. If we don't get hold of that self-confidence, we really are nobody. So that's really why we have to keep fighting that fight. I know it's a struggle. It's been a struggle for the past 400 years. Trust me, it's a struggle, but we have to keep fighting.
Oh man, you get to meet the filmmakers. You get to see the people behind the lenses, people who did the stories, people who wrote the stuff, and you get to meet people from around the world. This is not just in LA, but you're meeting filmmakers from around the world. I mean, you watch a movie, you just on the screen, but if you watch the movie, you get to see the director, you get to see the actor, you get to see the writer. So you can't beat that.
I mean, Pan African Festival is also a connector, connecting all kind of people, via media, via movies, and via art. Because you have art from all parts of Africa, you have movies from the entire world, made by black people, and it allows us to just connect with each other. And personally, as an actor slash producer, I connect with filmmakers from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Senegal, and maybe not on the spot, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, we end up working with each other. So I think it's a good place to meet and to grow together as well.
This is my second year in Pan African Film Festivals, and I didn't really know a lot about it. But what I learned, there are like 150 country films, coming in here in Los Angeles, and there are like more than 100 filmmakers bringing their work here, which is amazing and incredible. And it's a huge network event also to get to know more, filmmakers and stuff like that, and to get to see a lot of movies around the world, which is amazing. And it's just by itself growing me so much, in my film knowledge, and as an actress, I'm learning a lot. So to me, it's a learning experience, getting to know a lot of amazing, cool filmmakers. It's amazing.
The networking at PAF is incredible, especially for me. Like, I'm based in LA, but we do some project back home. So it's like get to connect with filmmakers around the world that, you can literally be able to call them, be like, hey, I'm coming to your town and I'm about to do something, and they can show you the way. So the networking is incredible.
Now, for every filmmaker in the world, when you make a film, you have, no matter how much money or how much resources you have, there's still a limit to those resources, right? And you can't attend every single festival in the world. Even if your film was screening in every single festival, there are just so many of them. But PAF is one that you should seriously consider attending. And the reason is simple. One, it provides a platform where not just your film, but films from all over Africa are presented to people who are interested in that community. And right now we know that this is not just another festival where they say, oh yeah, a lot of festivals, but we want to put an African film in, so we'll pick your film. No, this is a film dedicated to the African community in the US and all over the world. So you know that everybody coming here is interested in your kind of film. That is a big deal. So you're meeting people who are serious about your content, people who can give you insight, who can provide information that will be useful to you. This is something you don't find in a lot of other festivals.
My name is Tracette Hillman. I'm a theater manager, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now with PAFF. I love PAFF. It's where I come to watch great films from all over the world and get to meet some really great filmmakers, make some great friends, make some good connections, get to see great Black people, and I just enjoy it every year. I wouldn't be anywhere else in February.
What does it take to make this all magical like it looks?
Well, first of all, it's personality, as you know. It's just greeting everybody as they come in, kind of giving them the heart of PAFF, what they do every year, talk about the arts festival, talk about the films that come up, and just kind of having a great time, you know. We just keep the trains running, basically, from one theater to the next.
You can work at any film festival, you can work, volunteer, whatever, at any festival. Why have Pan-African Film Festival special?
It's a lot of heart, a lot of great people that you get to meet that are real sincere, very creative, and love just the art of filmmaking. So I like being around that environment. I think it's really healthy, and it just gives me such a great feeling. So I love doing it every year.
My name's Akili. I'm the volunteer coordinator, and I've been with the festival 2 years now. And what this festival means to me is bringing together Black people for positive films and art, and the reinforcement about all that's good in us, and being able to share our message and the creativity and energy that we have with each other. So I'm glad to be a volunteer coordinator. We look forward to the work we do, and we look forward every year to the film festival.
Why is this festival important to support?
A couple of reasons why. First, it reinforces the best in us because it causes us to come here and see the beauty that we have. Secondly, it deepens that and builds that. So your presence and people's support means that we will continue to do this as long as we can, as long as the sun shines and the moon glows.
You only been here 2 years, but you could work at any festival, anywhere. Tell us a little bit more about what makes this festival unique versus other film festivals.
It's for Black people. That's the most unique thing about it. And because it is, it captures certainly our worldview. And we don't get a chance to see that too often. And so if I had a choice to be someplace else, I wouldn't. I would always choose to be here.
And my last question is more personal to your job. Give us a little behind the scenes of the day-to-day of your job title, what you do to make this festival run so smoothly to the attendees.
First of all, is support the volunteers, respect the volunteers, and trust the volunteers. And then do whatever I can so that they can be successful. If they're successful, we're successful. And so my role, quite frankly, is simply to help people be successful.
And tell us a little bit about the different jobs volunteers. I mean, what does that volunteer mean? What are the types of roles volunteers?
The broadest range of activities and things that you can think of. Everything from making sure that people get ballots and vote for the movies and what they like, to serving people, to running off copies, to every conceivable thing you can think of to make an operation work smoothly. Posters, taking them up and taking them down, and doing it together. And that's for me what is really the best part of this. These days that we are here always projects, always advances, always supports the best and beauty in us.
Okay, my name is Mickey Gorell, and I am the filmmaker, liaison, and research director for PAFF. I've been actually working on it since before it started. I am one of the founders, a silent partner, and I've been working with the filmmakers since the beginning. So one of the things that I really enjoy doing is being able to let the filmmakers know their films are in the festival, and then meet them when they come here, and they are so excited and tell us that our festival really treats them better than many other festivals that they've been in. So I'm very proud of that accomplishment.
And what does, on a personal level, what does working with PAFF and co-founding it, and after so many years, Why do you do it? What's the reward? What's in it for you personally?
Well, I think it's just a sense of personal accomplishment and showing that we can put on an event with somewhat limited resources, and people do not know that that's the case because it looks so good and people have such a great time and we have great parties. I just saw a woman in the mall who was saying, you know, it just was one smooth running and everything. So even though we may not think it's smooth running, it really is, and definitely for the public.
It is a labor of love for everybody involved, and we're just happy and we think it's wonderful every year to bring it to you.
I want to make sure that I'm able to help birth these new filmmakers who are bringing so much of our stories to light. So I really appreciate being here. It's a pleasure.
You know, as a filmmaker myself, being able to program and watch films and sit on a body that decide what films we program, it's training me in a way as a filmmaker. So it's like, I feel like I'm getting more from it than I'm giving back to it.
Volunteerism is in my DNA. I was a community activist in Oakland before I moved to Los Angeles. I was actually the president of my board of directors for probably about 15 years. After that particular organization went defunct, I became a volunteer with Children's Hospital Boutique in Oakland. And then since I've been living in Los Angeles, I haven't really done any volunteerism. So I felt this need to really give back and participate. And when I found out about the film festival, the Pan African Film Festival, I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to volunteer. 28 years, you know, there's a lot of hidden hands, there's a lot of moving parts. Volunteerism is essential. So it takes volunteers and paid staff to really make this happen. So I'm just so proud. I feel really great to be a part of this. It's historical, and it's just about being a part of the solution and not the problem for the Black community.
Well, the Pan-African Film Festival to me means a celebration of who we are on this planet as people of African descent. Sometimes we get lost in the idea of just being American, being African American, but we really don't put the proper weight onto the reality that means that our lineage, our ancestors, that connection is to the continent. So the Pan-African Film Festival celebrating that is everything to me. You know, I told Brother Babu, this is the only non-negotiable for my annual support is to be a part of this festival. Whatever I'm working on, whether it be on a panel for something I didn't do or something he wants to celebrate, or a film that I've made that I think speaks to what we need in the community, I'm always going to do my very best to connect the diaspora in a way that not only celebrates us, but reminds us that we're still here.
And you do a program here, the Nate Parker Foundation. You do something with PAFF every year, so you give your time and volunteer. Can you just tell us what you do with PAFF and why you do it?
Yeah, well, one of the very high priorities in my life is the Nate Parker Foundation, the work we do with young people. Basically, it's an organization that leverages creativity, filmmaking, to help young people tell their stories. So we empower young people through the art of storytelling. I'm a firm believer that everyone has a story to tell, but not everyone has the means to be able to bring that story to the world. I feel very blessed that God made me a filmmaker, and that I can take that tool that He's given me and give it to others, young people that are experiencing things that I've experienced in my life in real time. When I was young, I didn't have filmmaking. If someone would have put a camera in my hand when I was 18, 19, I may be even further along than I am now. So, you know, it's important for me to take those young people and put them in an environment that they will not only be supported, but one that they can create, you know, connections to the roots of who we are. So they can know this. It's not just about telling stories. It's about telling stories that further our cause, that celebrate our ancestors, celebrate who we are and why we are, and really create an inheritance for our children's children, which for me is a mantra. A mantra is obviously biblical, but it says a good man or a woman creates an inheritance for their children's children. So for me, these young people with these cameras in their hand, telling their stories, really shifting culture around what we should and should not tolerate, who we're designed to be, our capacity. That for me, and doing it here, is probably the thing that makes me most proud in my career.
Okay. And for me, like coming here every year and seeing the posters and all the filmmakers, like the kids in your foundation,
Yeah.
very much like the filmmakers here of all ages, but you know, making a film, using their rent money, their gas money, and having all these posters and stuff. And it means a lot to them for somebody, a celebrity like you, to like show up and just come, and for them to see you, and then to spend hours talking to them in the lobby. You're in your own lane as a celebrity because you're a celebrity, but you're also a giver in the community. I just wanted to ask you, as an advocate for PAFF, like why is it important for people to support this kind of festival, and PAFF in particular?
Well, I think it's important for us to support PAFF for a number of reasons, but if I have to pick the most important reason, it's for the sake of programming, right? We have to understand that our stories are not only important, but they are essential to our growth. You know, Carter G. Woodson has a quote that says that, you know, a people that cannot justify their existence in the space will soon cease to exist, right? PAFF celebrates who we are, top to bottom, front to back, every aspect of who we are, our, what they would say, blackness or our Africanness. It celebrates that. And it reminds us what we've done here, why we deserve to be here, why we will continue to be here. If we forget what we're fighting for, if we forget that people have come before us and given us the tools to address the issues that are in our community, then we will have nothing. And we will forget why it's so important to stand up. You know, we get so caught up in this idea of progress, but what we don't recognize is that, you know, as Malcolm X says, you know, you can't stick a knife in my back 9 inches, take it out 3 inches and call it progress, right? So we have to continue to remind ourselves what happened, what we are capable of, what we can achieve through solidarity, that diversity isn't just a color swatch, but it is an acknowledgement of humanity and a celebration of contribution. And PAFF embodies all of those things, which is why as long as I'm here, as long as I'm making film, I'm always going to make it a priority in my life.
My name is Frances Ann Solomon. My film is Hero, inspired by the extraordinary life and times of Mr. Ulrich Cross. And really, my film is a Pan-African film. It's about the birth of Pan-Africanism. And so it's really at home here at PAFF. This is its natural home.
And what has been the reception here, and what are your feelings about the Pan-African Film Festival?
Well, the reception has been amazing, because I think what the film shows is how Pan-Africanism, the global movement, created the civil rights movement here in the United States. And you know, it's been incredible traveling with the film, because everywhere we go, people of African heritage have seen themselves reflected in the film, because it has a global vision. It shows how, you know, folks from the continent, folks from the Caribbean, folks from the Americas came together at a particular moment in time, which was, you know, 1957 to 60-70, to try to liberate Africa, and what happened. So, you know, people have different points of entry, different people from different, but it's the same story. It's the same story, which is, it's a story about Black liberation, so.
I am so proud to see a film like Francis's film, Hero. It's one of the reasons why this festival exists, is to tell stories and to show films like these, because it's not only educational and entertaining, but it's bringing awareness to what we need to know and how we educate ourselves as people of the diaspora, not by some colonial institution, but our real stories and telling our stories. We have to keep supporting, we have to keep coming out, we have to keep buying the ticket. We who have companies have to sponsor, so we can bring more awareness to seeing films like this, because this is our history told by our people. Peace.
My name is Nikolai Salcedo. I'm the lead actor of the film Hero, inspired by the extraordinary life and times of Mr. Ulrich Cross. And this experience, Pan-African Film Festival, has been super encouraging. Encouraging on the level of seeing how far African films and films from the diaspora and the Pan-African experience are reaching, and in terms of how much they're being encouraged, how much demand there is for it. I think generally after Black Panther, there's just been this boom of desire for films like these and stories like these. So for me, it's an encouraging thing to come and see.
One of the documentaries that I think everybody needs to see if it ever hits a streaming platform is Lazarus, and it's about the persecution of albinos in Malawi. So that was an excellent thing.
All right, my name is TJ Ba. I'm originally from West Africa, Sierra Leone, based in LA, and I have a short film that I co-wrote, acted, and directed called Upward Mobility. It's about an African who's married to an African American. His mom is coming to visit for the first time, and he's trying to impress his mom, want to move to a new apartment, get a new car, but pretending he's doing it for his wife. So there's a little bit of clash. And PAFF, I mean, this is the one festival that I want to be to. Every movie, this is my second time, but every time I did something, PAFF is the one I want to get into because this is the largest black film festival in the world. You get to see filmmakers from around the world, black filmmakers, and you get to see their perspective and you get to see their style of movie making. You know, so PAFF, this is my favorite.
My name is Dagmao Baba, and my film is The Ball Method. I'm based here in Los Angeles.
Hello, my name is Gonzalo Guajardo. I'm Spanish. My film is Paper Boats. It's an American-Ethiopian film. And this is actually the first festival that I am able to attend to, representing my Ethiopian wife and I. So I'm very happy to be here.
Hi, my name is Semenish Jaksa. I'm an actress in Paper Boats, Ethiopian native actress based in Los Angeles.
My name is Dara Lake. I'm the writer, director, producer, and star of the short film Land of Dry Bones.
My name is Albert Ampemousu Ansam from Accra, Ghana, West Africa. I'm here at PAFF 2020 for the movie Big Man Wahala. I also work on the movie Hero, the opening film. I was the first AC and the fixer for Hero in Ghana. No, I'm here for Big Man Wahala. The director couldn't make it, but I was the DP on Big Man Wahala. So I'm here to represent the film. That's Big Man Wahala.
My name is Jimmy Jean-Louis, and I'm an actor. I produce as well, and I've been coming to PAFF for the past 20 years, I think. And I believe I've had a movie here every year for the past 15 years.
We just saw a film about Pan-Africanism, and I think this film festival is the true essence of that. But there should probably be one on the East Coast and the South and in the Midwest, because these films need to be seen, and the chance of them getting distribution and the chance of them being seen by the masses is very limited. And this, like this film we saw today, Hero, is so eye-opening, and some of the other films that I've seen. It's fantastic, and the quality of films being made now has changed so much. So it's fantastic. It's just fantastic.
Talk about Babu, there's several co-founders, but talk about Babu and what he means to the festival.
Well, what Babu means to the festival, I want to say that Babu is the festival, but he's not. I mean, everybody is the festival. But Babu, Babu has a love for the community. He has the love for our people, and it shows, you know. And he's right here in the trenches with us. It's not like I'm the head guy, so you know, you all do this and you go. He's right there. He's in all the details, you know, and he cares.
Ayuko Babu, all my life, I've been looking to him for information. He is my brother, my organic brother, same father, same mother. But I was always the younger brother, so he gave me a lot of wisdom and information. When he knew how to talk to women, I would stand outside the phone booth to listen to the conversation to try to understand how to approach women. So he's definitely been my mentor and my force and my standard in terms of life in general. He has been running this festival, again, because we saw the need for black images. Going to Africa, getting in touch with the Ballet Africaine from Guinea-Bissau, as well as Fespaco, we knew to bring that art, that beauty over to the United States. He had the wisdom to bring that beauty and that art over to the United States. So again, not just being my brother, but also being a force to be recognized politically and socially and artistically.
What can people do to support PAFF more?
What people can do to support PAFF more is come out to the films, come and see the films, but mostly, money. Give of your finance, donate, go online and donate. Because this is really the only big thing we have in our community in Los Angeles. Of course, this is an international festival, but it's right here in Los Angeles, and it's a beacon for us. And right now, this is the only thing we have. Everyone looks forward to this festival every year, and thousands of people come out from everywhere, and we want to keep it that way. So donate, come out, and support.
Yeah, I would suggest we get more African people to volunteer as part of these things. You don't have to be a filmmaker, but you get to learn the process of making the films, and you get to meet the people who made the films. You get to learn the experiences, what they went through to get the films in.
Number one, buy tickets. Number two, tell other folks about the festival. Number three, come and buy the artwork that's in the festival. By participating, buying tickets, spreading the word, and that's how you do it. So coming to work in the festival, make a commitment to do volunteer work. If you want to do actual work to earn money, come and work in the festival. That's how you support something, by actually working in the festival and supporting it by work.
I think by having broader distribution. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I'd like to see announcements and flyers at schools and colleges and the mega churches. Get the word out so that people know that it's coming and it's here.
Hi, my name is Venus Bernardo. I've been with PAFF for about 30 years. Well, not 30 years, 28 years from when we first started. And I'm glad to be with PAFF, and I'd like to invite you to come out and support us. Come see the films. Come enjoy yourself. The art show, and we have it every year in February, Black History Month, and we'd love to see you. Please come out and support. Thank you.
Please come and support the Pan-African Festival. You learn more about Africa. You learn about yourself. It's world culture at its finest, and you will be amazed, and you will walk away with something that will move you forever. So don't take it lightly. It comes around once a year. Make sure you show up next year. Pan-African Film Festival for life.
And if you can't go to the continent, come to LA to PAFF, and you can see the continent here.
So please, everybody, support, keep it growing. It's been around for decades. And let's keep it going for the next 100 years if necessary. All right? So keep it up. Keep supporting the Pan-African Film Festival.
Please come next year. It is a phenomenal way of learning about people all over the world.
My name is Nate Parker, and I'm a proud supporter and participant in the Pan-African Film Festival. Please come and support alongside me in celebrating all these wonderful films and filmmakers.
Babu, we are concluding the 28th year of the Pan-African Film Festival. What words do you have? How do you feel? What's your state of mind? What do you think of the festival this year? Anything you want to share?
What it's about is liberation, so I hope people got a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of entertainment, and take that and go on around the world and do something.
Yes.
We love the Pan-African Film and Arts Festival! See you next year!